everyone. I haven't filmed a video in so long, so this feels really weird, but I sort of just had some time and doing my makeup, so I thought, why not do my sort of base routine. I like quite a dewy, glowy base. I've done my eyebrow routine already, so I've done my eyebrows, carved them out, what have you, and I've got a little bit of fake tan on, so I probably look crazy right now, to be honest. Going in with the NYX Honey Dew Me Up primer. I really like this primer. It's so gloopy though. Little spatula. See how it like sticks to your face? Buff it in to my skin. I try not to go too close to where I've blended out any. Oh, obviously that's what was there. I knew it was there, but it was going, and it's really just emphasised it, which is just splendid. My mirror's here, which is why I'm like, but I'm trying my best. I had my hair done like in August, had all this blonde put in, and it stayed really well, as you can tell. Now I finally got my hands on the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, so I'm using the shade 16N, and then 12N. So 16N is more of my actual shade, and then 12N is a bit lighter. One that's my shade is going to conceal, whilst that lighter one will brighten everything up. Started a new job. Well, it's an apprenticeship, which I was meant to start back in March. I went for the interview, got the job, and then I think it was a week before we went into lockdown, I obviously got a phone call to say that they couldn't do it, which is understandable. They made a few people redundant, so I wasn't expecting that they'd be able to keep me on. Not keep me on, like let me start in the first place. Sort of towards the beginning of September, they emailed me to say if I still wanted to start the apprenticeship, I could. So I started that last month, 21st of September I started that. I go to college like once every other week, which isn't too bad, but can be a bit brain numbing. But it's a really great apprenticeship, I'm really enjoying it. I've been having my driving lessons, my driving test. It's a month tomorrow, that's scary. I've got my car, been out in my car a few times. This is the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. Just blending that in. I like to do my concealer first, because I don't like to put too much over my foundation, because that's when it can sort of start to look icky. I like to have the foundation as a final layer. It sounds silly, but there's so much foundation in the bottle that even when it stood up, it goes just everywhere, so I'll just take it out of the lid. Doing a second layer. This is the Peaches and Cream PC16. Also this foundation, I don't feel like I have to set it with powder. The only place I will powder is underneath my eyes, because you can see my eyes are very creased naturally. So I just like the I Heart Revolution, the loose setting powder, and I just take that same brush. It's good to know where you get sweaty, and for me it's always my T-zone. Contour and bronze using the Suiva Contour Spectrum palette. I'm just going to contour using the and the key with contour is slow and steady wins the race, because you can always add, but it's hard to take away. Tapping that and then add it, slowly bringing it forwards. Go end of this brush and just God, I have the worst fake tan hands. Very sorry. But I do like to keep everything up instead of dragging it down. Also, where I've got this spot here, I'm not avoiding it. I'm obviously not going to leave like a patch over my contour where it is, because that'll make it noticeable. But I'm tapping over it. I'm not rubbing, I'm not budging. I'm trying to keep the product on there. Still very glowy, and it hasn't moved that highlighter. I'm going to bronze now, sort of over and just above where I contoured. This is to add the colour back into my face. I'm just pretty much having my brush here and circling, so it's taking up to my temples and to sort of the tops or the apples of your cheeks. And holding my brush at the end means that I can obviously, it's going in a bigger motion, and I'm not being really harsh adding loads of product. Best time. Highlighter. I'm just going to spray a bit of setting spray before I highlight. I need to shake this loads. The best you shake a setting spray, the less splodgy it's going to look. But saying that, it's always going to look splodgy. You're adding spritz of water onto your face, essentially. So I always take my beauty blender and just lightly dab, but especially like here, below where you've contoured, you want to keep, where you're dabbing underneath, you want to keep that separate to dabbing where you've bronzed and contoured, otherwise it's just going to look mushy and muddy. I'm going to use the Soph Revolution highlighter palette, if I can open it. And just swish around these two. Then I take a little brush. Where is my little brush? It's like a tiny detailed brush. It's a Morphe M506. Just taking the same shades. Just take that over my brow bone, corner of my eyes. And that, I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and come back.